Here we are making easy sugar cookies that we're going to ice later. These are the cookies that you get at Walmart or Publix that you pay $2.50 or more for that are iced. These are way better, a lot less ingredients, and I use sweet cream butter and I do not use salt. 1 egg, room temperature. Butter needs to be at room temperature, which I already have in the mixer. And a teaspoon of vanilla in here. And here we've got our flour mixture that we are getting good and sifted. And this is 1 teaspoon of baking soda, half a teaspoon of baking powder, 2.5 cups of all-purpose flour. And then here we've got 1.5 cups of sugar. We're going to put the sugar in with the butter, like so. And the mixture's good and sifted. And we're ready to put our blade in. I always keep my mixer all unplugged. You never know what goes on here. So, plug in our mixer and lift it up. Make sure everything's in place when we start mixing it. Whoa. Okay, there we go. And we started on 1. I usually just move it up to 2. And then I'm going to stop it, and I'm going to scrape down the sides. And we'll show you here exactly what I'm doing. Is I'm scraping down the sides with my spatula. And I also want to lift up the stuff from the bottom, the butter that's stuck to the bottom there. Oops, sorry about that. I'll use the blade to wipe off any excess, and then tap on the edge there, and then start mixing again, like so. So while this is mixing, and it's almost complete, you see we have a little butter here on the corner that we don't want it to be like that, so we're going to stop it one more time. Oops. And we're going to scrape that down, because that's a problem, and wipe it on the side of the blade like so. Okay, so we're finishing up the mixing of the butter and sugar, and then we're going to add our room temperature egg, and you're going to want to stop it and scrape down the sides again like I've shown you before. And after that, let's wipe the blade off. Always find one specific place to put my spatula and some kind of little bowl. Once that's in, we're going to put in our vanilla. I've always got something to wipe my hand on, whatever I started with. This has got brown from vanilla. My vanilla is a hidden secret, so it gets stored in this. This is what makes Food Bazaar's food so good, and everybody wants to eat it. I'm telling you, everybody wants to eat this food. It's amazing. It's nothing illegal. You can only buy it in 2 stores in the state of Florida. And that's Erica's little bottle.
Yes.
And we do a lot of stuff together in the kitchen. We love to do things in the kitchen together.
And that's the sprinkles.
Yep, there's our sprinkles. Okay, so we've got the vanilla, and we've got the butter, and we've got the egg, we've got the sugar.
And then this one.
And we've got the butter. Everything's mixed up. Now we just need to add the flour mixture. Okay, so here's the flour mixture that's all sifted. And basically, as I just put them together and sifted it with the... And as you can see, Food Bazaar is definitely a family place. And we love it when the family's in the kitchen. Because that's where the family should be. The family should cook together because that's where love starts. Love starts when you're feeding your family. So we're going to add the flour mixture. I usually drop my bowl down to do it. And I actually, for the sugar cookies, I put it all in at once. Right. So here we are mixing our sugar cookie dough. And again, what we're making today is the stuff you buy at Walmart for $2.95 or $2.50 or 2 for $5. And as it's mixing, you really can only do sugar cookies in a stand mixer because the dough will never come out right. You don't need a lot of mixing. Once you get to the right consistency, you're going to want to stop. And here's about the right consistency. Now what I'm going to do is scrape down the edges.
I'm just playing.
And I'm going to drop this down to do it. You don't ever want to over mix something because you don't want to take the oxygen out of the butter. Okay? That's very important. So now we're going to take the dough out of here. You can give a blade your kids to eat, and it's safe. It's not going to cut them. It's not little tiny, so your little tongues get stuck in them. There you go. You want to eat that?
Yes.
See, they get very happy, and then they stop getting in trouble.
Hey, I want to see the cookie dough.
Hold on. Move, move, move.
Look at that. It's big.
It is big. So now I'm going to wipe down our area here. We're going to roll it in parchment paper. Okay. So I've got our parchment paper here, and we spread it out. Now what you're going to want to do is you're going to need the sides to stand down on the table, because if not, it's just going to roll up like that. So the easiest way to do that is just get a dab of water on your fingers, and then you just rub it on the edges. Of course, I don't have enough water because I was talking. And your parchment paper will stand still, of course. So we're going to pour out our dough, and we're going to do a log like you buy in the store. But only this time, it's your recipe. So, and it comes out very nicely with the spatula, and it's empty. And then what we're going to want to do is get some sugar. And sugar is going to act as a flour base for us here. We're going to sprinkle it on here so we can form it without it sticking all over our hands too much. So either wear gloves, like when I make it for the school or for somebody else. I wear gloves, but I'm making it for the family tonight. And I don't need to wear gloves because they're my family. So here we go. Alright, so we're going to form it. Get enough sugar on there. This is like our flour. Okay, and it's sugar dough. So that's what we want to do. I always want to get every bit of it in there. Okay, so there we go. Now we can form our dough. And it gets very, very sticky, so you got to be very careful. Here we are forming a log, like so, and then we need to pull it out a little bit at different parts here to get it to stretch out a little bit, because what we end up with is a really fat roll. This is what we do. As you can see, with the sugar on it, you don't get the food on your hands. Okay, and it is sugar dough. So here we go. We got our basic log here. Awesome blossom. And let me just wipe my hands off. And now I'm sealing it. Get it nice and tight as I can. Roll my corners like it's my sub. You can cut it now and just start making cookies, but really it's preferable to put your log of sugar cookie dough in the refrigerator for about a half hour.